southwestern region of the United States, which are the present-day states of Arizona, Utah, New Mexico, Colorado, Mexico, and Texas, there lived various indigenous groups, which we collectively refer to as Pueblos. Pueblos meaning towns and villages. This name was given by the Spanish around 1550 CE, who came upon these people. They lived in towns or villages with houses made of stone and mud and thatched roofs. The three main groups of the Pueblo people were the Anasazi, Magion, and Hohokam. The Anasazi, also known as Ancestral Pueblos, dominated the Four Corners region of the United States. Four Corners region is an area that connects the four states of Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, and Arizona. Magions, on the other hand, settled in the southwestern New Mexico, and the Hohokam settled in South Arizona. The Pueblos dominated their respective regions from around 200 CE to 1500. Historians credit the ancestral Pueblos as the first farmers of America. Corn was the first crop that was cultivated by the ancestral Pueblos, so it had not only a nutritional value, but also a spiritual one. Although the development of farming marks the advancement of society, it doesn't necessarily mark the improvement of standard of living. For example, Pueblos had a healthier diet by hunting and gathering compared to farming, due to greater variety of food in their diet than solely relying on a single food source, like corn. Furthermore, southwestern region had an arid climate, meaning there wasn't much rain and dry air was persistent. As a result, the ancestral Pueblos had to develop complex irrigation systems in order to maintain harvest. By 800 CE, the Hohokams had developed an irrigation system that stretched through nearly all of Arizona. The irrigation systems allowed the Pueblos to cultivate crops outside of corn, such as beans and squash, which helped to diversify their diet. Although Pueblos used farming as a reliable and sustainable food source, in reality it was not, at least not during natural disasters. Between 1130 and 1180 CE, a persistent drought had decimated Anasazi's crops, while a major flood in 1358 CE destroyed the Hohokam's irrigation system. As a result, farming dominated people's life. Pueblos held spiritual ceremonies where they would pray for natural entities such as plants and animals for bountiful harvest and good weather. These ceremonies helped to connect people outside of a relative family, thus creating a sense of community. Additionally to farming, Pueblos traded. The Chaco Canyon was a trade hub for Chacoans, who were a branch of Anasazi people. The Chacoans created over 400 miles of roads in order to connect to other villages and towns. They traveled west for seashells from California, south for exotic birds from Mexico, and north for minerals and ores from the Rocky Mountains. They themselves traded turquoise. With the introduction of farming, Pueblos had a sedentary lifestyle. Thus, they built permanent apartment complexes such as adobe, which were made out of stone and mud. In terms of the division of labor, both women and men participate in the agricultural process due to decreasing hunting. On top of farming, women took care of kids and household chores, while male heads of households would create informal councils to make major decisions regarding the community. Lastly, around 1200 CE, tribes Navajo and Apaches arrived in the Pueblo region from the Pacific Northwest. However, they retained their individuality and did not mix with the Pueblos. Although most of the southwestern region had already shifted to farming, these new tribes continued to hunt and gather. To accommodate their nomadic lifestyle, Apaches and Navajo had less permanent homes than Pueblos. They lived in houses called hogans, which were made up of mud and bark. Although the Pueblos' descendants are still present in areas such as New Mexico, they mostly evolved into new tribes referred to as Zuni and Hopi.